Yo, what up, street gods? Kim in the house. Some thoughts on self-reliance. So what does it mean to be self-reliant, and why become self-reliant? So the first thought is we should posit self-reliance as a certain goal for ourselves and a certain thing to be desired. There's this notion philosophers talk about called deserdatum, and it seems to desire something is actually the first step. Is that when you desire something, you could actually progress towards that certain goal. And the philosophy of desire is interesting because when you actually desire something, then you could actually better obtain it. And knowing what you desire and what you don't desire is actually the number one critical factor for the wisdom, I suppose, right? So even maybe wisdom, I was trying to think, like, what is a good definition of wisdom? I've never been able to come up with a good definition of wisdom. Maybe now I have a good one, is knowing what to desire, what not to desire, right? And desires could be metaphorical, they could be pragmatic, right? And they could be conceptual, right? So for example, think about my son Seneca. What is it that I want him to cultivate? I think it is actually reliance and self-reliance, which means I want him to stand on his own 2 feet, be able to do things by himself, etc., without the agency of others. And that's also why I'm all about self-employment, entrepreneurship, sole proprietorship, solo. Like Jenny said, I'm going solo, right? Assume to yourself, let's say you were the only human being that could do everything. Then the question is, how could you optimize your life in things in which, once again, you could just do everything yourself? So for example, starting your own media empire, which means starting your own blog, vlog, YouTubies, podcast, anchor.fm, email newsletter, sendy.co, your own website, bluehost.com, etc. And it seems that a noble goal is for you to do everything. Like, you do all the email marketing yourself, you do all the designing yourself, all the advertising copy, etc., and also having to deal with more the logistics and planning side of things. Nassim Taleb has this interesting theory, or thing he was talking about, where the best way to live life is to not have a manager or not to have an assistant, because they just end up roping you to doing things that you might actually not really care for. Because you think about it, if you are a limited person and individual, you'll become very, very selective about what to do, what not to do, etc. So I would not desire the life where your whole schedule is dictated by somebody else. And yeah, just maybe being a non-scalable solution, you just being you, is a good idea. Everyone's trying to be scalable, but I'm like, the ultimate scalable thing is your thoughts. Your thoughts are ephemeral, they are lighter than air, they are interwebs, right? And so, best way to propagate your thoughts, email, newsletters, podcasts, like, just do it all, right? Like YouTubies, blogs, vlogs, etc. And it also does seem that a good idea is to do all sort of subjects of interest, which include audio, visual, also talking about different subjects like philosophy. More people should talk philosophy. I think it's the next big gold mine. Philosophy is the next big gold mine, bros. Philosophy talks, right? Blogs, vlogs, etc. Like, even if you think about the whole trend of media, everyone, like all the kids now, what do they want to become? They want to grow up and become YouTubers or vloggers. It's kind of like the new modern day rock star. So the reason I love it is, in theory, any kid with an iPhone SE or an iPad, even the cheap one, could essentially create their own media empire. I mean, ideally, good idea to have good idea to have a laptop, because you can still do more with the laptop. Just get a cheap refurbished MacBook Air M1 seems to be quite sufficient. Or just an iPad. I mean, just whatever you got, right? Even iPhone, right? I mean, I personally like having my Ricoh GR3X digital camera. I'm doing a vlog on a GoPro Hero 10 1080p 24 fps ultra wide mode. I just usually import it into my iPhone or my iPad and just directly upload to the YouTubies. And yeah, just know that self-reliance is a good thought. Even like our best friend Jeff Bezos, right? Like his grandfather was self-reliant. He could do everything himself. So even a thought, right? When it comes to any entrepreneurial matters or anything, try to only do things in which, if things go south, you could do it yourself. So for example, the reason why I would never desire home ownership is because if something breaks, I don't know how to fix it myself, nor do I desire to learn it, because it's not really worth my energy and time out. I don't care to go to the Home Depot all the time. Even with blogging, vlogging, coding, like a new thought I have too is that I only want to build things in which I could manage it and do things to myself. So even with computer programming, coding, it's like I don't want to build something that I don't know how to code myself. What can I do? I know how to write, I know how to vlog, do website stuff, email newsletters and stuff like that, the interwebs, stuff like that. So it seems that if you want to become a full stack solution, just you, the cult of you, then optimize it in such a way that you don't essentially need anybody else but yourself, just you on the web, and you can move the world.